UFC 323, very, very fun card. It has come and gone. And yes, like I said, Petr Yan is the new UFC bantamweight champion. And it sort of feels, at least for Petr Yan's story, it sort of feels like everything is right in this world. You know, this is a guy who 4.5 years ago made, you know, a lethal mistake. I mean, it was one of the most boneheaded moves that we've ever seen in a title fight, especially in a fight that he was very clearly about to win. He was minutes away from beating Aljamain Sterling, and he just had a lapse in judgment. He messed up, and the belt was taken away from him, and he ended up losing in the rematch. But it never felt, and that was around a year or so later, I said on the post-show sub, obviously via split decision, it never felt like he was able to get back on track. It never felt like he truly was able to kind of, I don't know, brush that off. He was never able to get back to that guy who won the belt, who beat the likes of Jose Aldo, who was killing people on the way up. Because there was a time where, you know, Petr Yan was doing his thing, and I thought this guy is going to be a champion for a very long time. He was looking that good, that dominant, that clinical, that tactical, the striking, the kicks, the punches, everything was just incredible. And that mistake against Aljo seemed to have unraveled something to where he couldn't get back on track. He's losing multiple in a row. What is going on with this guy? But this year, he seems to have figured it out. He goes on this winning streak. He gets the title shot. He has to get lucky in the sense that Merab is willing and actively looking to fight. Most champions are fighting once, twice a year, max, not 4 times a year. And take nothing away from Petr Yan. That was as good of a performance as you'll ever see from a challenger in a title fight. Now, he did have the benefit of fighting Merab back in March of 2023. And imagine telling someone on that night that these two will fight some 2.5 years later and that Petr would do what he did to Merab on Saturday. There's no way. Now, I know that he was hurt and all that stuff, but still, it was so one-sided. Goes out there on Saturday, and I'll be honest, there is a part of me that wants to know how this fight goes. If these two get a proper time in between fights, they get to rest up, they get to heal, and they get to have a proper training camp. That's not me offering any type of excuse for Merab Dvalishvili. He willingly, gladly took this fight, took this opportunity. He has to live with the consequences. You saw how happy he was in this studio when he found out that he was fighting for the belt. He wanted this. He wanted to try to make history. But I do watch that guy on Saturday and say, did he bite off a little more than he could chew? Too many weight cuts. Too many minutes in the cage. You know, these are 25-minute fights. Back in January, back in October, this one, and then, of course, the one against Sean in June was a little quicker, but that's still a whole training camp. That's still a weight cut, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That takes a lot of toll on your body. That's why fighters who are at his level, championship fighters, are only fighting twice a year. I think that came into play. But even if he was at his best, there's a very good chance Yan wins that fight. Maybe not 50-45 like I thought he won. Maybe it's 3-2. Maybe it's 4-1. One judge had it 48-47. That's absolutely insane. No way it was 48-47. It was at best, in my opinion, or at worst, I should say, 49-46 for Petr Yan. But I actually scored it in real time, 50-45. I think Merab should be next, meaning the next time he fights, it should be for the belt. I don't know if that will happen. Yan will probably fight before. If I'm Merab and his team, I'm taking some time off. I'm chilling. I'm taking an extended period of time. Look at what Alex Pereira just did. He lost in March. He needed an extended period. He came back 7 months later, and that's a long time for him. Let's talk about Petr Yan and what he did, guys. Petr Yan, incredible win over Merab Dvalishvili. Now that we've had 2 days to discuss it. Are the boys there?
We're here. We're here.
Okay.
We're here, brother.
Yeah.
What's up, man? I was taking in the news that the watch parties were continuing.
Yes.
I wasn't aware, so you're breaking that to me. So now,
okay. Are you not willing to do it?
No, I'm willing. I just didn't know we were.
Okay. Wow. Who's the new co-host? Who's getting bumped?
No, we're in search.
Who's the check?
You want a third or?
No, he's saying I'm out.
He's out. Okay.
Yeah, Rick has left.
That's it.
We're not pushing him out. He left.
I'm done.
He won't.
Work or shoot?
No, this is all.
Okay.
Sorry, I shouldn't have got bogged down.
We're working ourselves
to do
into
a
a shoot.
Sounds like it. Frank, don't blow your load in the first 30 seconds there, okay? It's a lot in one answer.
Those fighting words.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
I still can't determine in my brain how much of that was Jan's brilliance and how much of that was Merab. Like I said, taking on too much, because he does say in the post-fight interview, like, look, I want an entertaining fight. And he says, I want to be a company man. And when he was out there, and I remember what Sean O'Malley said to us last week, does he think back to the Corey Sandhagen moment? And does he fall in love with the striking? Does he fall in love? And when I was watching the first couple of minutes of that fight, I was like, this is a lot of striking. Now, I don't believe for a second that he shot for 28 or so takedowns. Whatever the hell they're saying on the UFC stats site, we're changing the way in which we are recording takedowns. There weren't that many. I'm not buying it. That being said, Yan did stop many takedowns. Let's leave it at that. Rick, what do you think? Was this Yan's brilliance, or was this Merab biting off more than he can chew?
It's probably both, but I don't think we can assess fights like that. There's no circumstance where every time that people step into the octagon, whether it be men, women, champions, not champions, that both competitors are going to be at their peak, right? There's just realities of this sport where sometimes a guy's coming in at 85%, sometimes a guy's coming in at 30%, sometimes they're at 100%. If we want to do that type of calculus, we'll never get anywhere, because every time there's always going to be something. We have to take what we were given in front of us, and what we were given in front of us was a masterclass by Petr Yan. The first 3 rounds were close. The later rounds, which are the rounds that Merab thrives in, the rounds that Merab steals from everybody, the rounds that Merab typically is turning up in, are the most definitive rounds, are the rounds that Petr Yan won by his defense and the devastating punches that he was landing on Merab Dvalishvili. So I'm gonna take that at face value and say that was Petr Yan's night, and he absolutely crushed it.
By the way,
I can't take anything away.
By the way, GC, I'm leaning towards that as well. I just think it's a fair thing to bring up.
Of course.
Ultimately, Yan was brilliant. I mean, Yan was absolutely brilliant. In the past, I think Merab has won based on like heart, will, determination, cardio. He met a guy who was just on the night better tactically and technically than him. Everything that he did on the feet, takedown defense, striking, the body shots, the kicks to the body, the punches to the body, the punches to the head, everything that he did was textbook, beautiful, and then some. It was otherworldly. It was world class. Blown away by what he did.
Blown away. That's the only way that I can put it. I went back and watched all 25 minutes of this fight last night, and I'm even more blown away after rewatching it. You know, you go back to their first fight, getting 50-45, getting completely blanked, and maybe you could say, Merab's, he's had the 4 fights. Was he falling in love with the striking? At one point, he tried to abandon the striking and go for the takedowns and start using that wrestling, and Petr Yan stopped that from happening. The defensive masterclass that he put on from a grappling standpoint and also a striking standpoint. Look at the 2 dudes at the end of the 25 minutes. Like, you talk about the body work. He hurt Merab several times to the body, had him screaming at one point, jumping up and down, and then his face completely bloodied him up, sent him to the hospital afterward. From pillar to post, like, it was just unbelievable. Masterclass is the only way to put it. To bounce back after getting 50-45 and to come into that octagon on the run that Merab is on, and to completely shut him down like that, whether it's 4 fights this year or not, it was truly unbelievable from Petr Yan.
Yeah, you mentioned his face. We have a picture of Merab's face. Merab's face bloodied, cut up, busted open. I mean, look at that.
Petr Yan did not look like this.
No.
Like, the damage that he was inflicting to the body, to the head, and the takedown stuffing that he put on. I actually am in agreement with you on the fact that I don't think it was that many takedowns either. We were saying it live on the watch party. He didn't shoot for a takedown until like halfway through that first round, and then a minute later, it was like 0 for 9 on takedowns. We're like, did he shoot for that many?
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't know why they've changed it. They did that similar thing for the Merab Corey Sandhagen fight. I don't know why.
He's getting the Utah Jazz, Chicago Bulls home cookings, scorekeeper, where they're like, oh, Merab 7,000 takedowns. They're just trying to up the takedown count. Yeah. I think one thing that I will take accountability for, and I overlooked about this fight, was I knew that Petr Yan, even in the first fight, was a defensive master, a defensive wizard. Like, even in the first fight against Merab, he was able to stay defensively sound. The problem was that the offense was what was lacking in the first fight with Merab. So I kind of, in my head, I eliminated the possibility that anything could be done on offense against Merab, and kind of just assumed that the fight would go the same way. I actually don't think it was the defense that was the most critical factor, because that defense was there, as I said in the first fight. It was the offense. It was the things that he was doing in between the moments when Merab was shooting and in between the moments when Merab was striking with him, he punished him. He punished him in a way, and his face reflects it, that no other opponent had done to this point, right? He made him really, every time that there was an opening, every time that there was an opportunity for Merab to reset, he was punishing him with the body kicks, with the body shots, with the jab that was seemingly there all night. And every single moment of that fight that Merab was not doing something, he was doing something and doing it better than Merab, right? Merab gets by on high volume, but he's really not a devastating striker. And as far as wrestling, he kind of is content sometimes to not finish the takedown and just take the attempts and just take the shots. Petr was extremely efficient with his work, and every single time he had an opportunity, he made it count with something really, really painful, something that really hurt Merab. We saw him wince and scream and moan and groan with some of these body shots. I did not foresee that type of possibility, but he had a perfect game plan.
Petr Yan entered the UFC 7-1. He beat Teruto Ishihara, Jinsu Sun, Douglas Silva de Andrade, John Dodson, Jimmy Rivera, Uriah Faber. That was a tough one to watch if you're a Uriah Faber fan. And at that point, you were like, man, this guy is really good.
Yeah.
Remember, he fights Jose Aldo, Fight Island, that UFC 251 card in July of 2020 for the vacant title because of Henry Cejudo and all that stuff. And he wins the belt. And now you're thinking this guy is going to hold the belt for a very long time. Like, he showed no real weaknesses. He's an absolute killer. He's a freaking kicking machine. He's a punching machine. He's a boxing machine, all that. And then the next fight is the Aljo fight. And he beats Corey Sandhagen in the fight after that, but then he loses to Aljo. And then he loses to Sean O'Malley. And then he loses to Merab. And you're like, how the hell did we enter a point in time in which Petr Yan is in a 3-fight losing streak? How the hell did this happen so quickly? But again, as I said at the top, imagine telling someone at the beginning of the year, in mid-2024, he beats Song Yadong, and then he beats Davison Figueiredo at the end of the year. Remember that card? I believe it was in China, right? Was it in China?
Yeah, I believe Macau.
Macau, yeah. Marcus McGee in July, and then Merab. And again, he does benefit from the fact that Merab was very active because Merab blows through everyone. He blows through Umar, Sean, Corey. And even after the Corey fight, he could have taken the rest of the year off. And that's why I would like, and Yan's he's not taking this, direction right now. That's why I would like to see Yan return the favor. They're 1-1. Merab fought him, even though the first fight was very one-sided. I don't love this idea of you should go fight other people. Like, if anyone deserves an immediate rematch. Now, again, as we talked about on Saturday, if Sean O'Malley wins on January 24th, I can see them putting Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan on that White House card. Sean O'Malley, the biggest active American fighter in the organization right now. If you want to include John Jones, fine, but he's not really active. O'Malley is active. He's the biggest name. He's the most popular name. You can easily run that one back. He has a win, O'Malley does, over Petr Yan. And so those guys could fight, and then the winner could fight Merab. I think it would be very unfair to Merab to have him fight someone else before getting another crack at the belt. 14 in a row, all those title defenses, fighting 4 times in 2025. I think he deserves, if anyone deserves another crack, an immediate rematch, and again, that might not be Jan's next fight, but the next time he comes back should be for the belt. I feel very, very strongly about that. Do you guys agree or disagree?
I don't have a strong feeling on it, if I'm being honest, but even seemingly with how one-sided the fight was, you still feel that it has to be. Like, I'd be
the
okay
first
if
fight
somebody
was one-sided too.
It has
Jan's
to be.
next fight was not a rematch. It was not to fight him again.
But that was Yan on a 3-fight losing streak at that point. This is Merab Dvalishvili, who was racking up title defenses, who just fought for you 4 times, 4 title defenses this year. I mean, look at Alex Pereira last year, and he fights Magomed Ankalaev. He loses. He gets the immediate rematch. I think Merab Dvalishvili has earned that. He's one of the greatest bantamweights of all time. He already has a win over this. It's 1-1 now with Petr Yan. I would like to see a rematch. I'd like to see it on a, Merab who's got rested, who's healed from injuries and is revved and ready to go.
You know what? I just said I didn't have strong feelings. I actually do have strong feelings.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to see an immediate rematch. I don't like immediate rematches in general. The only case for an immediate rematch in my mind is what we just saw, is with Pantoja.
You don't think that when Merab fights again, it should be for the belt? I'm not saying.
I don't think it has to be. Is my feeling.
Well, what is it about him? Did you feel like it was justified to have Alex Pereira immediate rematch?
I would have been okay if it wasn't.
Okay,
is how I'll put it. But that fight was close, right? There's a big difference between what happened with Merab.
But is it more about Merab or is it more about Yan? In other words, if
It's
O'Malley
more about
wins,
immediate rematches. I just don't think that
but
they
it's
serve
not
anybody.
really immediate. Because I think what you don't like is that it holds up the division. I'm saying Yan should probably fight someone else, and whenever Merab is ready to come back, his next fight should be for the belt. I'm not saying hold the division up for him. I'm saying this guy, the next time he competes should be for the belt. Yan fights O'Malley, let's say in June, if O'Malley wins, or Umar if he wins, and then Merab fights the winner. He's beaten all those guys.
This is not an anti-Merab take. As anybody who's watching knows, I'm a big fan of Merab. It's more of a, I don't know that I want Merab's next fight to be against the guy who just pretty much blanked him. Like, I would like to see him see a different look, get a little bit of mojo back and fight somebody else. It's more of a, I just don't think we need to always do immediate rematches. It was completely one-sided. Yan can finish business with somebody else. Merab can get one more win under his belt and come back into
What
it.
if it's Yan O'Malley and O'Malley beats him?
Then do Yan and Merab still do the rematch.
So the only thing you don't like about it is that Merab's getting another crack at the belt? Then now it does feel like you have an issue with Merab.
No, it's as I said. I have no. If this is what ends up happening, I'm completely fine with it. I'm happy. I'm not saying Merab should not get a rematch. I'm just saying I don't prefer immediate rematches, and especially in the case that it's one-sided. It just doesn't. I don't think it serves the fighter who lost much better. Nor do I think it's better for the public.
Oh, man, I want to see Merab get a full training camp. I want to see him get some time off.
I'm
And I
down.
want to see if he could do it. And by the way, he may not be able to do it. Maybe Yan at 100% is that much better than him, and now we know.
I'd rather find out after he gets a win under his belt and gets some of the mojo back. Is how I feel.
Who do you match him up against? Someone who he's already fought as well?
That's the thing. I mean, you could do Ayman Zahabi.
Do Ayman Zahabi?
Ayman Zahabi might be, and the thing is, Ayman's probably going to be ready to fight sooner than Merab, but he's probably the biggest loser of Saturday because I thought if Merab would have won, Ayman Zahabi would have been the only guy standing that he wouldn't have already have beaten.
Now that O'Malley talk all of a sudden gets
Oh my
real
God,
loud.
O'Malley, everyone's back in the mix now. Like Corey Sandhagen, bring it, like they're all back.
I think O'Malley in particular, though, it's like the
100%.
loudest.
100%.
I think he literally was streaming, and I think he said, "Song, you're out. Piotr, you're in."
Yeah. I mean, and by the way, let's not forget about Song. If Song wins, he's right in the mix, right?
Yeah.
Like every single guy, Song doesn't have a fight against Merab. Henry might come out of retirement as a result of this.
Song does have the fight against Piotr, though. He did lose.
Yeah. I'm just saying it feels like every single guy is now alive again because
sure.
the dude ran through everyone.
Yeah.
Same thing on 125.
Yep.
Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.